I like
Welcome.
that it asked me for consent.
Oh, it did? Welcome to Internet Anytime. Number 19. Daniela has consented to be here.
Yay!
Yep. Nobody was forced. Nobody was trafficked into this podcast.
That's always good to know. I've seen some interviews where people look like they didn't want to be there.
They seem real stressed.
Like, oh man, I agreed to do this for the check, but I did not agree to these questions. I want to go home.
I've been watching. I'm not into MMA, but I think I
Oh,
might start getting into it. But I've been enjoying watching some MMA interviews, like press conferences and stuff. They're pretty entertaining. They're like really
not
funny.
not the actual battles or fights or whatever, but the interviews of the guys.
Yeah, and actually, now watching some of the interviews, I'm like, oh, this is like part of it. Like people watch the fights, but they also watch this. It's part of the whole shtick
Oh
and
yeah,
shtick and show.
because they're like, I can't wait to meet Dragon Ball Thunder in the ring. I'm gonna smash him, and then I'm gonna be on to the next opponent. You know,
Exactly. Are
they're
you
like,
sure you're not Dragon Smash Ball Planet or whatever name you just said?
I would say like, yeah, I'm down, but like, no, I'm not trying to fight. Not even to get paid. They get messed up. There's
They
like so
do.
much blood. Oh my gosh, it's just so brutal. I could not do MMA. I used to know someone that was really into it, and I would watch him with him, but it was always so brutal. Like the guys just be pounding him in the face, and then everyone's covered in blood. I feel like that's not COVID safe.
Actually, it was like one of the first sports back during COVID
What?
and stuff, but they didn't have crowds, which I guess made it super awkward because there was like,
No one cheering you.
yeah, and you're fighting like to hurt somebody. From what I understand, there's a lot of people doing it right, and very few people are profitable, and most of them are just out there
Yeah.
getting beat up.
So some people might make, if you're not like one of the big people and you have to work your way up to being one of the people on TV, you might only make a couple $100 and you got whooped. You just got whooped. And even if you won, you still took some punches to the face. Or you might have like a broken rib and you won. And you got $200.
I don't know if the ones on TV, nobody's getting $200, but
No. I'm saying the ones that aren't before you make it to be one of the people on TV. I'm like the beginning level. Because you gotta win a bunch of fights before you can even make it to the level to be on TV. That's where like 20 wins, no losses.
Mm-hmm.
He's been through some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so have you heard the news?
No.
Ariana Grande got married earlier today.
Oh yeah, to who? Conor McGregor? Is that the segue between MMA? Floyd
No.
Mayweather. Let me guess. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Sr.
Their heights are compatible, but I couldn't see that working out.
So who is it?
Apparently he's a real estate agent, a luxury real estate agent, and they've been dating since like a few months before COVID hit.
Right on. Yeah, I think I had read that she was dating some normie.
Yeah, he's like a normal
sure
person. Everybody's like, who's this guy? But if he's selling like luxury California homes, and he's getting like a 30% commission, he might have more money than her.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, the people with the most money in LA are not the entertainers. I mean, they definitely have a lot, but it's people like that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to her. I hope it lasts.
I hope so too. I like Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
and I know she's had like a lot. She's like a serial monogamist. She's had all these like very serious quasi long-term relationships, and then like it just all falls
apart. That's a fun. Serial monogamist is a funny term for what you just described. But okay, anyway.
Hey, you go into it hoping that it works out.
Hmm.
Everyone, well, hopefully everyone has good intentions. But
Right.
then after you like move in or after you get engaged, you realize, oh crap, this guy's crazy. Or maybe they're not crazy, but he really irritates you with how he puts the lid on the toothpaste. Like, ugh, I can't deal with this for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
It's time to
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah. I had one girlfriend say something like that about like the sound of the flossing of my teeth. Like how it sort of like bothered her and how she imagines us in 50 years and how that would still like bother her then or something like that. And it was actually like kind of weird thing to say. I was like, really? I'm like, all right, I see what you think of me.
That is
I
weird, but hey, if it was a deal breaker for her,
that it was
you know,
that that was not the deal breaker. There was
oh, it was just a contributing factor.
yeah, I bet she didn't even remember that one. The
I feel
flossing of the
like
teeth. And your flossing bothered me. I was like, I'm trying to take care of myself. You can't win sometimes as a man. It's like, I'm trying
you
to, if I wasn't flossing, wouldn't you be pissed about that?
you can't win as a woman either. There's a lot of stuff. Same thing. Same thing. Some people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't cook and clean for a guy," and then other people are like, "Oh, you totally should. You should show him what's gonna be like." Like, don't be a wife when you're just a girlfriend. I do believe in that. I'm not gonna do like wife like stuff. Cause I have known people who are like dating a guy and they're like, "Oh yeah, I go over to his house every Saturday and I wash his laundry and I clean his house." And I'm like,
What? What? That's out of
"That's
control. If you don't
crazy."
live there, yeah,
She
that's
doesn't live there.
what are
He
you?
has
His
his
like cleaning lady mom? That's fucking bullshit.
exact. That is it. Clean lady and a
Yeah,
mom. She's like, I just like to take care of him. And I'm like,
that's weak.
that's something like if you are his wife and it's your home that you share together, okay, but you don't even live there. He's a grown man. He can
Yeah,
wash his own laundry.
totally. I will say too, it's like manipulative in this weird way because I mean, I guess so. And relationships like maybe like about this is that, a guy might be less willing to part with a girl if he's used to that kind of stuff. Also, though, it's like not good because then it provides like an unrealistic, like nobody does that. So it's like unrealistic expectation of going forward in any future relationship.
But then she's kind of like selling herself, like, see, I'm the kind of girl that's gonna take care of you. I'll wash your laundry, I'll clean your house, I'll
Hmm.
make sure your home is taken care of. But then you see the other end of the spectrum where like the guy has that girl at home, and then he's like, oh man, I want somebody sexier. I don't want the girl that I've seen with her hand in my toilet. I want the girl who's just mysterious and sexy.
I mean, yeah, I guess if a dude's a douchebag,
Some of them are, Jacob, some of them
yeah,
are. Not
it's true.
all, some.
It's true.
But some
I
people
mean,
are able to appreciate a woman like that. They're like, hey, this girl is awesome.
and some
This
people
is great.
genuinely enjoy cleaning and cooking, and that's okay too. Some people like find joy in that. Most people don't, and for many people, it is just like a chore. That's why it's called that. You know,
Mhm.
but and if you are somebody who does genuinely like doing that stuff, and you have a partner and you like making them happy and stuff, and it's like, I mean, it can be okay, but
It can be okay.
but if
But
you're,
for me,
mm,
I prefer stuff where like, okay, I'm gonna come over and we're gonna wash laundry together. Like I'm washing mine, you're washing yours,
sure,
and we're gonna wash our laundry and we're gonna fold our clothes and we're gonna talk. And we're
right,
gonna have this time together. Or I'm gonna come over and we're gonna cook. Maybe I'm cooking this time, but while I'm cooking, you're gonna be talking to me.
right,
I'm not just going in the kitchen for the next 2 hours and coming out
right.
with
While you
like
play video games
exactly. No, like
with your
I'm
bros.
coming over. We're gonna be interacting while I'm making this
Well,
meal.
Daniela, you sound super high maintenance to me. No wonder you're single.
Oh my gosh. I'm not that high maintenance. It
Okay.
has like that's not bad at all. That's not one of the high maintenance things. But if you can't even talk to me while I come over to cook you a dinner,
Totally.
that's not gonna work.
Yeah. And that's like for me, to being in a relationship is hanging out with the person, not like having
Yeah.
them doing like superficial stuff to to serve me or whatever, or my function or
Exactly.
convenience me.
It's not just what you can get out of the person. Like, oh yeah, she does my laundry and she meal preps for me for the week. She's cool.
You see all those TikToks like preparing lunch for my Latin man, and it's like every day I give him carrots and Ritos, and then here is his thing of snacks, and then she like, it's like women preparing a lunchbox for their husbands. Yeah, there's so much of that
No,
TikTok.
really? I see, like, TikTok, it all depends on your algorithm. I'm all like side hustle tips, BTS videos, and like how to get abs in like 2 days. Which I have a video for you for that. You gotta just do the stomach sucking thing like 50 times, 3 times a day. They had people with before and after pictures, and they had like huge stomachs, and then the stomachs went down. Not like crazy went down, but like a good amount in like 4 days.
What's
Out
the
there.
what's the stomach sucking move?
So
You
so
just
like
suck it in?
no, so like you you have to stand up and you like push in your pelvis, like so like go like this, where you're
You stand up.
squeezing.
I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna get off camera here so nobody will see my crotch pumping, or maybe I
Okay.
will do it with this. Like, what do you mean,
Oh
like
no, I don't know.
like this?
No, kind of like do like a crunch. Act like you're doing a crunch, but you're standing up.
Like this? Just like that?
But you got to move your pelvis at the same time. Everything is moving inward.
And
No,
do I?
you're standing upright. Have you ever done a crunch before?
Yeah, I do. I
But yeah,
do every day.
yes. So do like your upper body like you're doing a crunch, and then do your lower body like you're doing a pelvic thrust. Yeah, there you go. There you
Okay,
go.
gotcha.
There you go. And you do that 50 times, 3 times a day.
50 times, 3 times a day.
Yes. And people have seen results, like real results.
Well, I mean, it's like you're just doing a crunch standing up pretty much. So yeah, if you do those,
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean,
every
there's
day,
no
you'll see
cheat
results.
to it. There's no cheat to it, but it's like, people don't like getting on the floor necessarily. So this is something that seems a little bit easier. Whatever will get you to the exercise that will get you to where you want to be, go for it.
I just did Chloe Ting 28-day flat stomach challenge.
Chloe Ting.
28-day. I
Oh,
just
is she a
finished it.
Chinese? Is she a Chinese lady?
She's I think she's Chinese, but she's Australian.
Oh, okay.
And I think her family's actually from Malaysia, like Uncle Roger.
Okay.
I think
Because there's the lady with the ab thing is this Chinese lady. That the lady who like all the videos are about.
That's Chloe Ting.
Oh, she taught me that.
She's Malaysian, but she's Australian, but she's Chinese ethnic Chinese.
Are her videos, the lady you're talking about, are her videos in English or Chinese?
Oh, they're in English.
See, no, the lady I'm talking about, her videos are Chinese, and then it's like got little captions in English.
And they're ab videos?
Yes, ab videos, butt videos, like all these different butt tips. Like just take your hands like this, and then like touch your toes, and then stand up. Touch your toes, stand up, and then you'll have awesome butt.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. I mean, it's aerobics mixed with like ab workouts. Each day is like 3 or 4 different workouts. Some of them are 10-minute ab things. Some of them are like 15-minute more high knees and getting your heart rate going and stuff like that. And I definitely I feel more toned after.
Oh,
but I mean,
good.
That's because you work out every day for 28 days. Pretty much, there's days off, like rest days. So, but yeah.
That sounds good.
It is good.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, I think she's like the number 4 YouTuber right now, like all time. She's got an insane amount of people since especially COVID. Chloe Ting.
You should put the link in the description below.
Sure.
So me and our watchers can find out more about this Chloe Ting thing.
Yeah, and she's pretty entertaining. That's why I've done a bunch of different people's workouts on YouTube, and there's a few people I like. I mean, Chloe was the most popular. I mean, a lot of people are clearly doing her workouts, but I think she's got kind of a funny sense of humor or whatever. So
Oh, she like makes jokes while she's doing it.
not really. She has just I've watched a couple of her other videos. You know, you like they have some other ones where they respond to comments and stuff like that. You know. So yeah,
Oh, that
she's
sounds
funny.
good. I'm always on the lookout for something new. You still you still have to try pump it up high energy. Now that it's not a short term thing, it's a full hour, maybe hour and a half, but it's fun to watch and it'll get you your results.
It will.
Yes.
Or is it just fun to watch? Do you sweat when you do it?
Oh, yeah, you sweat a lot. It's intense. It's high energy and you're pumping it up the whole time.
I think I'm gonna definitely do that. Now that I finished my Chloe Ting 28 days, I'm gonna take a couple days to do some random working out, and then I'm gonna do
Okay.
another one of her things, like another 21-day challenge or something. I think she just came out with a new one, like 21 day summer shred challenge. I don't know what it's called. And then I want to start doing some like now that like I could definitely feel my core strength improve a lot. Being able to like get off the ground and do different kinds of sit-ups and
Ooh.
I want to start learning some like dance videos, you know, but you need to be in
Mhm.
shape to be able to do those.
Oh,
Yeah.
those are what I love. During quarantine, that was one thing that was keeping me entertained. I was doing dance videos and
Uh-huh.
learning some routines.
Yes, that would be
'Cause some of these
cool.
dance ones, you get so saucy. You're like,
There's some people dancing on
cancel it.
uh that's where on TikTok that's been good. There are some awesome dancing on TikTok. There's this one dude, what the frick does he go by? It's like Renegade the Dancer. It's something cheesy like that. Um, I can't remember his name. He's in Las Vegas, and he's always like moonwalking around Las Vegas. These two girls, he dances with them as well, and those are fun. I want to be able to do something like that. I will never be able to dance as good as they can, but
Hey, you can dance in a way that makes you happy, and that's all you need.
okay.
Oh man. See, and that's the beauty of TikTok. You can just do a dance and to a song and just upload, even if it's just like boom, boom, hey, woohoo, 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 woohoo. And next thing you know, it's gone viral. I was watching the Jimmy Kimmel thing. So he had this girl named Addison Rae on his show where she did all these viral dances, and he got some backlash because while he was doing all these dances and she was showing him the dances, they didn't actually give any credit to the creators of the dances.
Hmm.
And a lot of the creators of the dances are people of color. So it's like you brought this young white girl on here, and a lot that's been a problem with TikTok just overall, where like someone with a lot of followers will do a dance and then they'll make it really big, but the actual creator for the dance won't really get any credit.
Hmm.
They're like, hey man, but it's like there's no checks and balances. You can't really like contact someone's label, like, oh, they stole my dance. It's just like you could just write in the comments, like, hey, this was mine.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, most of the creators of those dances, they were just like, oh, I heard the song and I was like, this will be a fun dance. And then I uploaded it. And then 3 weeks later, it was viral. It was like the one girl said she made up a dance while she was on the bus to school. And then she just recorded it when she got home from school. Like, oh, that's just so cool. These like the young people nowadays, they have so many outlets where I know when we were like in 8th grade, 7th grade, you're like, oh, I want to go on like MTV and be
Right.
famous. But now you could just upload a cool video and it can happen for you like that.
Yes. And there's just like, you know, teens making each other famous because they have the ability to access these apps and stuff, right? You know, it's not the
Mm-hmm.
same way as where everything to us was presented by adults, you know, written
Yes.
by adults. And yeah, everything, the windows for self-expression were so much more narrower. I mean, if you had an opinion, the only way that people could hear it is if you like wrote a letter to the newspaper, You know, they put it in there. Or you went to like, you know, they had like town meetings at public libraries and
Oh
shit like
wow.
that. You know, you'd go to like the school board and stuff like that. But, you know, now everybody's just like in their Facebook group, and with the couple pushes of the button, you know, their sentences are heard, for better or for worse.
And it's not just like at your school, like the whole you there are some high schoolers out here, they got like 50,000 followers. Like,
Exactly, because they're popular in like across high schools, you know. I mean, popularity has like reached a whole new level. You remember there were some kids who, and maybe I was one of those kids, but like there were kids who, you know, you kind of had to, you heard about them and they went to the neighboring high school. You know, they were kind of like almost
mhm.
people started to get kind of more regionally popular or whatever. And now
Oh
that's like
yeah.
a whole new level of like, oh, you know.
Oh yeah. In high school there was like this group of guys and they were like they were like a dance team and they would go and they perform in various places and it was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna come to the school. And it's like, oh, they go to like they went to like two different high schools, but not ours, but they were, you know, they were popular with all the high school kids. They're like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. What's your name? They're like, did he see me? He smiled at me. So you could be like local high school famous. But even still, after you're out of the high school circuit, once I don't know, they graduated and I have no clue what they did with their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, and now this stuff lives on forever. Like that's another thing too. There's just like, you know, chunks of my life where there's not a ton of photos maybe, you know, or instances, and now everybody's life is, you know, so documented. I mean, for me it is like it's right around when I got, you know, an iPhone or whatever, when people's stuff is online as well. Just like a recording of their life like on a weekly basis almost. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Like when I first, it's like from the point where I first got Facebook, and especially in college. In college was when Facebook was relatively new, and it was before people thought about the repercussions for putting all your information on Facebook. So we would have like a night out with our friends, and then you take all these pictures with your phone, because we were taking
Hmm.
pictures with phones even back then. It weren't as good quality as they are now, but you take all these pictures and then you just upload all the pictures onto a Facebook album called like About Last Night, and
Right.
then put the date. And then like someone would message you like, oh my gosh, I was passed out in that picture. Take it down, take
Yeah,
it
yeah,
down.
yeah, 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 totally.
But you'd have like the whole, I kind of like that. I guess it's kind of similar to doing a live, like at a party, you do a live stream and you're just showing whatever is happening at the party and people can see it live. That I feel like that was the equivalent of that back in our college days. Cause yeah, you just have everything that happened,
Mhm.
good or bad, would go onto Facebook. And then like of course years later, like now, people have taken down all the party pictures from their Facebook page, all the drunk pictures.
Right.
But it was the heyday when everyone was telling the truth online. A
Yeah.
little bit too much of the truth.
Yeah.
People like doing the walk of shame. Hope my RA doesn't see me. Like, what? You messy. Like all your friends on campus now know this.
That's funny if somebody actually wrote that.
Oh, people were writing such messy stuff. And you just be like, do they realize? Like, I know this girl from a math class I took first semester, but I'm seeing all her business. She like, well, if he wanted to sleep with Sabrina, he should have slept with her first instead of getting with me. And that's why he got a little like, oh my gosh. Like, why is she putting all that in her status? We don't want to know that. And then
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people be like super emo, like, oh, how,
Right.
you know, it'd be like, Tamara is feeling sad because nobody called me today. And I just found out that my ex-boyfriend is getting married. And it's like, woo. But some people be like so depressing. I'll be like, sad. This is really sad. I feel like that would be such a good book. Life Unfiltered. Because back then we didn't have the filters. The pictures were real. They were not getting edited beyond like put a little contrast, a little sepia.
They were real blurry, lots of real blurry photos or partially blurry photos.
Yes.
Ugh.
But they were good. They were artistic.
Yeah, I feel like there's a chunk of time missing between like people stopping using film cameras and people starting to use camera phones, but the camera phones not being very good and not like having good systems of transferring the phones onto hard drives, or Facebook wasn't around quite yet, or not everybody was using it. So, those phones just disappeared when, your phone broke or you know, yeah, went away when you got a new phone. Did you freeze? You might have frozen. Yeah, you're frozen. It was going so good. Hello, hello. Come back to me, Daniela. Oh, you guys, I don't want to edit this. Dang. So, the other day, I was in Minneapolis. Oh, there you are.
Okay. Okay, what I was hold on. What I was saying is, yeah, like you're right. Because we had those phones, like you said, it was not easy to transfer those pictures to the computer. And a lot of people didn't have like personal computers. They just had like their home computer that they share with their
Right,
whole family. They're not trying to take up a whole bunch of space with the 5,000 pictures you took over the past 3 months. So you just have like all these pictures on your phone. You're like, oh yeah, that's on my phone. That's on my phone. And yeah, you drop it in a puddle or in this much water or
right.
whatever. Bring it with you in the shower, have it in the bathroom with you, and it's like water damage now. And all those pictures are gone. I have I have like so few pictures. Like from high school,
Mhm.
there, especially like the beginning of high school. I don't even know if I have any pictures with my friends from the beginning of high school.
Hmm.
Maybe like a few, but yeah, we were taking them on flip slide phones or whatever.
Mhm.
These terrible quality pictures.
Mhm. Yeah, for me that's like my a part of my early 20s or whatever. Like high school, I at least had a camera and I was taking up places and took a lot of pictures. And in the beginning of college as well. And then a chunk of time. Yeah, it was just like those mid 2000s, right before Facebook with cell phone times.
Yeah. Those were good times though, but they'll live forever in our memories.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to go through my life in my mind like year by year every once in a while. I'll be like, okay, what was I doing? You kind of like relate it to the time of year that it is now, like if it's spring, I'm like, okay, what was I doing May last year? What was I doing May the year before? What was I doing May the year before that? And just try to like keep going back, sort of.
That's good. One feature that I do like of the Google Pixel is
Mm,
that Google will show you what want to see what you were doing a year ago today, and it'll show me, and or 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 5 years ago today, and or it'll show me like what I was doing that week in like
mm-hmm,
2015, and I'm like, whoa, that was then. And it's crazy how time really flies, because something in my memory might feel like it happened like last year or the year before, but then it's like, no, that was like 4 years ago.
mm-hmm. Yeah, the iPhone does that too, and sometimes they'll just like present you with like an album slideshow type thing when you're not ready for it, and then like it's super emotional or something that you like don't want to remember. Like I hung out with this woman for a little while. We weren't in a relationship or anything. We were mostly just friends. But like the
Mhm.
iPhone assumes that we're in a relationship. So it like built this album, and puts like this like love music behind it, and it's like just
Oh my
flows.
God.
It literally looks like somebody's an album that they would have like at their wedding, like of like, oh, do we meet? But like our relationship wasn't quite like that.
Oh
It
goodness.
was funny
That's
that the
funny
robot,
though.
yeah, but the robot like just assumed. And how did it assume? You know what I mean? I think there's a couple pictures of like her kissing me on the cheek, some stuff like that. But still, it's kind of weird. It's
It
not like,
probably was like, you spent X amount of hours, X out of X amount of weeks with this person. and you took all these pictures with this person, it's just assuming you guys were a couple. Like,
Right.
hey, if
Like
you
it
are in
doesn't do that with me and my roommate, right?
no, because you guys don't take pictures together every time you hang out.
Well, not every time, but there's quite a few pictures of us over the years together, hanging out in all kinds of different places and stuff.
And the phone is probably like her phone was like inches away from your phone. But you and your roommate, you guys keep some space between you. You guys are like cheek to cheek, cheek to cheek. Who
How does it
knows?
know? I know, it's weird. I mean, I get how it knows, but also like, how does it know? And then how did it make such a pretty photo album? You know, it was great. Every time it does it, it's like nice, you know? And then
I've seen
sometimes,
some of those, and they are really nice.
yeah, it picks out like the good photos, you know? Once in a while, it'll pick out like one bad one, and that kind of makes it funny too. It's like, what stupid robot.
I feel like it does that to kind of like balance it out. Like, oh yeah, here, and then here you caught it like a candid while she was like flicking her hair. She's like, and it's like, oh, it's blurry, but that's artistic. Memories. Oh, speaking of memories, are you planning to make any new memories this summer? Now that people are going outside.
To be honest, not really. I'm kind of looking forward to staying in LA this summer for the most part. I'm not opposed to taking some short trips somewhere or doing stuff in
Okay.
nature for sure. But I personally am not going to try to plan anything. I feel like I'm just on a good roll of working hard, and I have this kind of schedule right now that I'm really enjoying. Like it feels really good, and yeah, I want to focus on that. I'm excited for the next few months for sure. But yeah, I would, obviously there's California has a lot to offer, and got to go out and do stuff. I'm sure I'll go out to beaches. I'm sure I'm gonna go surfing and stuff. I started surfing last summer, and I'm really excited to pick that up again. I didn't do it this winter because I didn't have a wetsuit, but yes, I am real excited to be out in the waves and stuff like that. What about you? What are you gonna do?
Well, your plans sound very exciting. That's good that you found something that you're happy with and a nice little flow and nice little schedule. Um, I too do plan to work, but I plan to do some work and take my laptop with me. Like, yes, I want to see more than just LA. I've been kind of cooped up, and now I'm vaccinated, and finally vaccinated people can go places, we can gather, we can take our masks off. I'm not going to completely be mask free, definitely not like on planes or in most times that I'm inside. I'm going to keep my mask on if I'm inside, because you can still catch COVID. But I want to do a road trip to some national parks, go visit some family.
What
And
national parks do you want to go to?
I really want to do the Grand Canyon and Zion National Park. They look beautiful, and I've never seen them in person. I love to do that. I want to go. I want to go and see. Probably do like a road trip, so I can see, like, hit some stops up around along the way. I thought that'd be good. But yeah, I want to go. I want to go out. Not like every week, not every day, because I still have to work and get some stuff done here. But at least like once a month, go somewhere, close or far, somewhere.
Yeah, I've never been to Grand Canyon either, but the drive between here and there's a lot of stuff, and it's really pretty. You can make it really pretty. Zion, I've been to. That's pretty. There's a lot going on there.
See the sights, because it's like I haven't seen anything other than Los Angeles or just California in general for so long. Like, oh, the whole world is out there waiting for us to just walk in it, breathe some smog-free air.
Oh man, so I was in Minneapolis this last weekend, and every time I go there, right away, the first thing I notice, I'm like, oh man, the air is so freaking clean here. I'm like, smells just good. And it was spring, so kind of winter just ended, and that That's when it still like smells super fresh, and there's no trash anywhere on the streets or on the
Wow.
sidewalk anywhere. It looks like Disneyland. Like that's what it looks like when I go there from like that's how clean it is. Like the sidewalks and the streets are like sparkling. I mean, granted, part of the city did burn down, in the um well, those parts were riots last summer, and so I'm not talking about those parts, obviously, like that have been destroyed, but there's a lot of the city that was not destroyed, and yeah, both St. Paul and Minneapolis are just like glistening. They always did look good, but I feel like it's even more so, or maybe now just because I live in LA, and LA it is grimy, I mean,
It's so like the whole city just needs to be power washed.
mm-hmm.
Sidewalk, streets, the people. Just power wash it all. It's just
Oh,
like, oof. Yeah, I can understand that. Cause even when I go back to Michigan, it's the same. And it's like no trash, unless like, you're in a rougher area. But there's not all the trash everywhere. There are trees on the side of the highway. You look up, it's beautiful blue skies, wonderful fresh air. Oh, like we need more trees in LA. That would help. But also let people work it from home if they want to.
mhm. I did see one woman, last week I talked about how I saw my downstairs neighbor just like throw a bunch of trash in the street, and
Oh yeah.
he threw like a big plastic coffee cup. I
Hmm.
saw this woman in Minneapolis do that in a bank parking lot or whatever. It was like the exact same kind of plastic cup, like half full and stuff. I'm like, what the F? And right at that moment, I saw a plastic bag blow across the street, and that was the only trash I saw on the street the whole time I was there in 3 days. But that's on University Avenue in Snelling, the Midway. That's kind of there can be a little bit of trash there, okay, but yeah, nothing like what we have here. Here, I mean, man, the minute you get off the plane, I mean, there's just shopping carts, just weird random plastic strewn furniture, so much
Yeah.
fast food garbage.
Yeah. And with the homeless situation right now, wherever there's like a homeless encampment, there's a lot of just random, just really gross looking trash, just debris. It looks more like debris
Right.
just scattered everywhere on the sides of the freeways, parks, random streets in Hollywood. It's like, ugh, look a little rough. I know they're gonna have to clean things up before what year is the Olympics? 2025, 2026.
I think it was supposed to be 2024, right? Because it was
Oh,
supposed to be in 2020 and they postponed it to 2021. They're happening in Tokyo or whatever. Pretty soon they start, and then yeah, the next ones are 2024. Is that when they're doing it in LA, or is it 2028? I can't remember.
I think
Um,
it's 2024.
is it?
I can't Google it right now, but yeah, I think it's 2024.
I'll
They're gonna
Google
do
it.
it. Supposed to be doing it at SoFi Stadium.
Right, there'll be a lot of places. That's right, right. 2028.
It
They,
is. Well, still, they
it was
still
gonna
gotta
be
get
maybe
ready.
2024. They were like trying to get that done, and then it didn't. It was like between one of those dates, so you're not wrong or whatever.
Okay. Well, they have some time to get our city together.
2024 is in Paris.
Oh, that sounds nice. I'm not big into the Olympics, though. I'm not a super sporty person.
I love sports, and I love the Olympics when I was a kid. When I was, um, well, I wasn't 12. I guess the Barcelona Olympics were 1992. I was 10, and I went to summer camp for 3 weeks. So I missed the whole Olympics, but my
Oh,
parents knew that it meant so much. And then at that time, the Olympics were just on one TV channel and whatever they played, and it was that for the day. But my
yeah.
parents VHS taped 12 hours or 14 hours of Olympics for me every day. They videotaped the whole thing. And then
What?
when I came home from summer camp, because I just chose not to read the newspaper or anything. We didn't have the news up there. But like when I came home, I just like ignored it. So I didn't know who won what. And obviously the internet didn't exist yet. And I watched the whole thing like for a couple weeks. It was awesome. But now it's just like so corrupt. It's just like you can see through it. It's just this money making scheme. It's not
The drugging. All the
Yeah.
Russians, the one year all the Russians had to sit out because everybody was doped up. Like they're like, oh no, there's this drug in our food, and it's like sounds weird. I've never failed a drug test because I ate a bagel.
Uh-huh.
Like no, and I'm
Yep.
sure they do more than just the one test to disqualify you from the Olympics. They're not like, you guys use a dirty cup.
Yeah. And now you look back, so and then now there's even evidence that like Carl Lewis, like everybody in the 88 and 92, like all those runners were doping and getting around it and stuff.
What?
They just got, I mean,
No,
yeah,
not
the
Carl
rumors.
Lewis.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was just normal, like pretty much everybody. There's like I can't remember who put out the documentary, but it interviews a bunch of runners from that time, Carl Lewis included, and other trainers and things. I mean, Carl Lewis clearly denies it and stuff.
Well,
But
yeah.
they say that they worked around it, like they would, dope at certain times, and that there was still certain things that they weren't testing for or whatever.
Oh, there were like new hybrid drugs. So like if I did meth, they're not testing for meth.
Something like that.
Or speed. Let's call it like, speed. If I was on speed. What is speed? Is that
Speed is
heroin?
no, speed is meth generally. Yeah.
Okay.
Heroin is not speedy.
Heroin slows you down.
Heroin slows you down, and what you would call that is smack.
Smack.
Yeah,
oh,
smack
is that because people go like?
No, because it kind of feels like it smacks you in the face.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yes.
Wow, but I guess if everybody's doping, some people might feel like I got to do it too, or else I can't be competitive.
I can't be competitive, and also like so these athletes who are at that level, they're psycho in a sense. You know what I mean? Like part of the way that you get to the level of that, is that you're just like extremely competitive. So you're gonna do what it takes to win. Even if it means that you cheat a little bit or whatever. I mean, people do it in their games. If just like there was like in the NFL, they just had Deflategate, or in soccer sometimes, they waste time, or they if they know the referee called it wrong and it went off the other guy, they're not going to care. They're pretending that it went off them and stuff. So you do whatever you can to get an edge. And
because you want to win, and you've worked your entire athletic career to get to this point. Because a lot of sports, like figure skating and gymnastics, the Olympics is the epitome. So you've been working all your life doing gymnastics since you were like 2 to get here. You don't want to get there and she was bronze.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Or fourth or whatever, of course. Yeah,
or you don't medal at all. And you're like, this is my life's work. And depending on your age, this might be the only Olympics you get to compete in.
Right.
That is a lot of pressure.
Totally. Yeah, it doesn't seem like these people are generally having fun, like you look at Michael Phelps, he has all this like mental health stuff, the swimmer, where he was like suicidal even and all these things. I was like, dude, you're a fucking gajillionaire, you have like a nice family and stuff, and you're like depressed. But yeah, because it's just the way that your body and mind is treated if you're like training for whatever 8 hours a day and that's all you freaking do and know. I mean, yeah, it's got to be stressful.
Yeah, and then when that's over, how are you supposed to deal with that? Like, okay, going 100 miles per hour, and then all of a sudden you just stop.
I mean, even me as somebody who was like, so I, played a ton of sports in high school, and then college, I went to play soccer, but I was injured and I stopped playing. And my body, and I wasn't a professional athlete by any means, but the shock that my body went through from just like stopping, and the mental shock that your mind goes through because it's used to like crushing all these endorphins and releasing these crazy chemicals, every day, when you're pushing your body as fast as it can go for like a chunk of time, literally every day, and to that never happening. At some point, your body's just like, what the heck, you know? And like,
Like,
there's
what's
no
going on? There's
right,
only so much we can take.
right.
Mm. That's interesting. I think, I don't know. I had like I think even with me doing soccer in high school, it was probably like didn't have a good diet or something, because that wasn't like the best shape of my life. I was actually like heavier than I was in college, when I wasn't doing that intense workouts, but I was walking everywhere. I
Mm-hmm.
was so I was walking miles every day, and like, and being more conscious about what I ate after freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
After freshman year, it helped to like balance it out for me. But
I think our food choices, like what our parents were advertised to give us as kids and what we were fed as school lunch, it was bad. It was a lot of garbage food.
oh yeah,
And now as adults, and then just in general, like mindful eating is more, acceptable. I mean, when 15 years ago, vegetarians were pretty abnormal. A vegan was like super weird. Or
yeah,
like the idea of eating, plant-based stuff. And organic stuff wasn't even really a term. Everybody was eating just processed everything.
yeah. Just whatever they had at the store. And I know for lunch at my school, of course they had the regular school lunches, but if you didn't want that, you wanted the more tastier meal, they had fried chicken wings and fries. And you could get fries for $1, chicken wings were like $2.50, and you could get like the whole meal for like $5. So I was eating like fries, and also they were selling like these cinnamon rolls for like $1. So I'd get a cinnamon roll in the morning, and I'd have these fries for lunch. I go to
Mm-hmm.
soccer practice, and then I'd go home after I went to work. I'd get home at like 10:15, 10:30, eat dinner, and then go to sleep.
Mm,
So like, I can imagine that's not good. It's
yeah.
not the best. And that little hour of me at soccer practice running around isn't balancing out all the other junk I'm putting into my body. And then at work, I'm sitting down for 4 hours, just sitting down on the phone.
Uh-huh.
Mm-mm. You got to walk around.
Yeah,
I,
we had cheese, like you could get a cheeseburger every day, cheeseburger and fries, or hamburger and fries were available every day if you didn't like the hot lunch, which was, like pizza
yeah,
boats or like taco salad.
yeah. I remember those. But like for some, hamburger, that sounds tasty. A
I,
burger.
I ate a burger pretty much every day. I ate two school lunches every day, and it was, two cheeseburgers and two fries pretty much every day with like a tub of mayonnaise. And they started, like, you used to be able to self-serve yourself all the mayonnaise that you wanted.
Oh
And
gosh.
but then they started limiting it to like a couple cups. All my friends knew how much I like mayonnaise, and some of them, like, they didn't like it, but they would just get me some mayonnaise cups anyway, and just be like, "Here you go."
So your
They're
love
so
of
nice.
mayonnaise is not new. It's been around.
It's been around since I kind of discovered mayonnaise, which was as a teenager, really. I don't think I really had much mayonnaise until I was very aware of it.
I've never been much of a fan, but to each their own. But we had hamburgers at my school, but that was a part of the school lunch. And somehow they found a way to make hamburgers gross.
Oh yeah.
Like, these hamburgers were not hamburgers you would want. You don't want two of them. And they would serve them in a tray, but they would
Uh-huh.
be like in water. And they'd like have a tray of like a liquid, and they pull the hamburger out of the liquid and put it on your bun.
Right,
And
because
it's
they
just
like
like,
boil them or steam. They're like cooking them in that water. It like thaws them too, probably.
oh, that might be it. Maybe they were boiling these hamburgers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a way to cook a patty, I guess.
That would that would
That's already
explain
cooked.
why they were so gross.
Uh-huh.
They're the
They're just
worst.
rubbery.
You know what? That sounds like probably what they did, because that's a way to cook a whole bunch of something. And they're not eating these nasty boiled hamburgers. I never even thought about that, Jacob, because I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, that's gross. Why would you do that to these children? These children are just hungry. Have you ever had a boiled hamburger?
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking up this. Fill the pot with some flour to fully cover the meat. Use a wooden spoon to break up the meat into small crumbles. Yeah, yeah. You can boil a hamburger.
It doesn't taste the same. I'll tell you that.
Can you boil a hamburger patty? Boiling ground beef is much healthier than frying because most of the fat is removed. It's faster than frying too, and it doesn't make the big splattery mess. Interesting. I never even thought about it, but it just makes sense that it could happen.
As a person that had boiled hamburger patties, it's not what you want. It's not going to replace what White Castle is doing right now. I'll tell you that.
Oh man, I'm sad I did not get White Castle in those few days I was home.
Oh
Not home,
no.
back in Minneapolis. My former home. LA is my original home.
Yeah.
Minneapolis was my second
That's
home.
last time I was in Michigan, I did not get White Castle either. Because each time we drove by one, I was so full.
Mm-hmm.
But next time I go, I'm gonna get some. And speaking of White Castle, have you heard about this super White Castle that they just built in Florida?
Okay.
They know in Florida they just built this mega huge White Castle that's bigger than any other White Castle, and they know what the people in Florida want. So not only were people lined up, they were camped out more than 24 hours in advance so they could get their White Castle.
I'm looking this up.
Look it up. Super White Castle. I feel like it's in Orlando, but I'm not quite sure where exactly in Florida.
Florida White Castle. World's largest White Castle opens in Orlando May 3rd. What the heck?
Yep.
That's awesome. I thought White Castle was going away.
No, people love White Castle. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, it's huge.
Have you ever had a crave case? Hey, they're delicious.
Yeah, I had one in September.
Oh.
With my roommate, we got one with my friends. We got it half jalapeno cheeseburgers, half regular.
I don't like cheeseburgers. I like mine just good old plain ketchup, mustard, onions, pickle. Good stuff.
Yeah, I without the cheese to me, it's just not the thing. But I like cheese on everything. I'm a cheeseburger person. I don't like hamburgers.
I don't like cheese on my burgers. I think it tastes gross.
We're the opposites.
That's good. You'll never try to steal my White Castle.
Well, I'd still eat it. Don't get me wrong.
Even though you don't like it.
No, I'll take it back. I prefer it. I mean, who doesn't like a hamburger? I can eat a hamburger, sure. But I would like it to have cheese on it if possible.
Okay. Like my favorite burgers are just burger, brioche bun, mustard. If I'm feeling fancy, okay, we'll put some cooked onions, maybe a little lettuce, and a little barbecue sauce with my mustard. But if it doesn't have mustard, it's not the same. No. Am I hungry?
That made me hungry, even though I shouldn't be hungry, and I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat.
Oh, are you trying to eat healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was gone this weekend, so probably didn't eat very healthy. I drank lots of alcohol, but we didn't eat tons of stuff. But yeah, I ate kind of unhealthy.
Okay. Well, you're out of town. It's a little bit harder to eat healthy when you're out of town.
Yeah, I was just eating whatever, I was staying with my friend and his family, and I was there for memorial service for his family. His father had passed away, so we were like, eating not good food, restaurant food, etc. We ordered like a bunch of pizza one day.
That sounds well. Yeah, that's one thing. Get people together. They like to eat, and you don't want to eat. Most of the time, people don't get together and everyone just eats the salad. Exactly. Especially if you're trying to be comforted by your food. You want comfort food.
Yeah, we ate good. We ate from this one Caribbean restaurant, which I didn't know had food. I just thought it was like a music venue and bar that I got drunk at, but their food apparently is amazing. And then I had some, and it was so good. This garlic chicken, like shredded with plantains and coleslaw and rice and beans, and it was like so good. Makes
That
me want to get
sounds
Caribbean food here.
delicious.
Yeah, it definitely made me want to like research Caribbean food here more. I've been in a bunch of Caribbean restaurants here in LA, and they just haven't been very nice to me when I go there. When I go there to pick up like a DoorDash or Postmates order,
Yeah.
like I did it as a worker, and it is always like the people working there were always just real mean. I'm
I
like,
feel
ugh,
like some of these restaurants just don't like DoorDash and Postmates. They're like,
totally.
so they're like, when they see like somebody ordering that, they're like, you're not even a customer.
Well,
Away with you.
yeah, in those a lot of those places now, you are not even doing the ordering. You just tell them like the number there. Everybody has a system already.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely weird, and it still probably does happen with some restaurants where the driver actually goes in the restaurant and reads the order off the screen and has to wait for them to make it. But that's just asking for issues. Although I would say that almost 100% of my when I am lazy and I order food delivery, which I hate doing because it's way overpriced, but you just get sucked into doing it sometimes, and my order is never correct. Never like 100% correct. There's always like something wrong or off about it.
I actually have never ordered food to the house. It's like, because whenever it comes up, I'm like, I could just drive. If I really want it, I should just drive.
See, that's the
Uh,
same for if parking wasn't so bad. Like here, you lose your parking spot in my neighborhood, and your life is over. Like I'd come back with my food, and then I could be searching for parking for 45 minutes all of a sudden, and then it's like, well, okay.
yeah, no.
Nobody wants to
That's
do
not
that.
cool. And then your food's cold, or
Right,
you just
exactly.
driving and eating, and you don't get to enjoy it the same way that you planned.
Exactly. No, you don't want to do that. And that's why I have to, I mean, definitely compared to where I lived before, where fast food was more accessible, I could just drive a block and get it. I'm eating less fast food because of that. But then on the other token, I have had food delivered to me like a few more times than I normally would have, just because I need to like make sure I always have groceries in the fridge, and that I
Mhm.
always have even some like junk groceries, for when I'm like in the mood for some sort of
Yeah.
like fast food type thing, rather than like, having $25 McDonald's order, like just make a frozen pizza or something like that.
So what I do is I like to keep like some tater tots or like some fries. So like, oh, I feel like having like some fries or something. I'll just
Mm.
put those in the air fryer, and it kind of feeds that craving. And it's like
Mm.
I'm getting my junk food type French fries, but I'm not going to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
But I will be going to McDonald's on May 26th. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if you heard about this, but BTS is collaborating with McDonald's to make a BTS meal.
Tell me more about this BTS meal.
Okay, so it comes with 10-piece nugget, a medium fry, and a medium Coke. And it also comes with a chili sauce and like a sweet sauce. But both of the sauces are sauces that previously were only available in Korea.
Oh, fun times.
So we get to try them for the first time with our nuggets. It should
Is it
be
available
tasty.
only on that day?
Oh no, it's available for 1 month.
Okay, gotcha.
But like it's not available on that day globally. Some places are gonna get it a little later. But yeah, we're getting it May 26th. Be ready. And rumor has it that the meals are gonna include a photo card. So hopefully you get your favorite member. Do you have a bias? Do you still remember the names, Jacob?
Jimin, Salad Boy. Just kidding, I made
Salad
that up. I
boy.
just made that up. I do know more of
Oh,
their names. I'm blanking right now. Oh my god, the freaking BTS Nation is just murdering me right now as I can't remember more of their names. But I do know more of their names, but I'm blanking right now on being on the spot.
okay. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say Jimin is your bias since he's the one that came to your mind first, which is not surprising because I've noticed that for a lot of people, when they first find BTS, Jimin is the first one that they are attracted to, because he's just so lovely.
Okay.
Are you open to trying a BTS meal?
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely doing it. I'm excited for these new sauces. Bring it
Oh
on.
yeah, I
Bring
am
it on.
too. I admit that I have not had McDonald's meat products in like 8 years. So BTS has me breaking my streak because I do not like to get fast food. That's the part of the reason why I don't really do Postmates and DoorDash and stuff too, because I don't really like fast food like that. It's just like, I
I feel
try
like
not
most
to.
people use it to get restaurant food and not fast food.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
Oh, from yeah, as Postmates and DoorDash driver, I mean, you're definitely delivering a chunk of fast food, but fast food is maybe like a third of it. 2/3 is
really?
other restaurant stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
Knowing how
because
indecisive I am, it would be all bad. So it's so hard to just decide on a place to eat when you're actually driving and you're like, okay, this place is right here. Let's just go.
Mm. All right, we have hit an hour of episode 19 of Internet Anytime. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I think sometimes the things down here, I don't even know what side of the screen I'm going to end up in the recording.
Maybe it's
Sometimes
here.
it's here. Sometimes it's there. It's a circle. I need to like make the logo pop more because sometimes you don't even notice the circle. All right, and with that, we can snap ourselves out. You want to do it, Daniela?
Bye.
Bye-bye. I have to get ready for my stream, so I am going to end this now. It was great talking to you. You have a good night. When do you leave again?
Thursday.
And when do you get back?
Monday.
Okay, cool. So it's a long weekend. Awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I'll see you soon.
Yes. I don't know if we'll see each other before you leave. Probably not, but when you get back, we'll do another podcast right away, and we should hang out and talk and do that other stuff.
And we'll have more things to talk about.
Yes, we will. All right. You have a good night, Daniela. Bye.
Good night. Enjoy your. Bye.